Welcome back my YouTube channel. I am telling about for this coin, the 1979 Canadian 5-cent coin, often called the Canadian nickel. The focus is on its history, design, economic context, production, and legacy, written in an informative and age-appropriate way. The 1979 Canadian 5-cent coin, history, context, and legacy. The 1979 Canadian 5-cent coin is a small but meaningful artifact in Canada's monetary and social history. Though modest in face value, this coin reflects decades of tradition, industrial development, artistic design, and the economic realities of late 20th century Canada. Known commonly as the nickel, the 5-cent coin of 1979 belongs to a long-running series that had already become one of the most recognizable coins in the country. To understand the importance of the 1979 5-cent coin, it is necessary to examine its historical roots, physical characteristics, artistic symbolism, economic context, production details, and its place in Canadian numismatics, the study and collection of coins, origins of the Canadian 5-cent coin. Canada first issued a 5-cent coin in 1858, even before Confederation in 1867. Early 5-cent pieces were made of silver and were smaller than modern versions. As Canada industrialized and demand for everyday coinage increased, silver became impractical for low-value coins. In 1922, Canada introduced a new 5-cent coin made of pure nickel, which was larger, tougher, and cheaper to produce. This change made Canada one of the first countries in the world to issue a circulating coin made entirely of nickel. Because of this, the 5-cent coin quickly became known by its nickname, the nickel, a name that continues even today, long after the coin stopped being made of pure nickel. Physical characteristics of the 1979 nickel. The 1979 Canadian 5-cent coin followed the standard specifications used throughout most of the mid-20th century. Composition: 99,9% nickel. Weight: 4.54 grams. Diameter: 21.2 millimeters. Thickness: approximately 1.76 millimeters. Etch: plain, smooth shape, round. These measurements made the coin durable and easy to recognize by touch, an important feature for daily transactions. By 1979, rising metal prices were beginning to make pure nickel coins more expensive to produce, but Canada would not change the composition until the early 1980s. Obverse design: Queen Elizabeth II. The obverse front of the 1979 5-cent coin features Queen Elizabeth II, Canada's monarch at the time. The portrait used is the Arnold machine effigy introduced in 1965. Features of the portrait: the Queen is shown facing right. She wears a tiara. The style is simple and dignified without a crown. Inscriptions: the obverse inscription reads, Elizabeth II de Regina. This Latin phrase means Elizabeth II, by the grace of God, Queen. The use of Latin reflects long-standing traditions in Commonwealth coinage and emphasizes the constitutional monarchy under which Canada operates. By 1979, this portrait had been familiar to Canadians for over a decade and symbolized stability and continuity. Reverse design: the beaver. The reverse back of the 1979 5-cent coin displays one of the most iconic images in Canadian coinage, the beaver. Artist and origin: the beaver design was created by G.E. Kruger Gray, a well-known Canadian artist and engraver. The design was first introduced in 1937 and has remained largely unchanged ever since. Symbolism of the beaver. The beaver is a powerful national symbol in Canada for several reasons. 1. Economic importance. Beaver pelts were central to the early fur trade, which played a major role in Canada's colonial economy. 2. Industry and perseverance. Beavers are known for hard work and engineering skill, qualities often associated with Canadian identity. 3. Nature and wildlife. The beaver represents Canada's vast natural landscapes and wildlife heritage. The image shows a beaver sitting on a log, calm yet alert, surrounded by inscriptions. 5 cents, Canada, 1979. This design connects everyday commerce with national identity. Economic context of 1979, Canada. The year 1979 was a period of economic challenge in Canada and around the world. Several global and domestic factors influenced coin production and circulation. Inflation and rising costs. During the late 1970s, inflation was relatively high. Metal prices, including nickel, were rising. Governments faced increasing production costs for coins. Although the 5-cent coin still had purchasing power, it was already buying less than it had in previous decades. This economic pressure would soon force changes in coin materials and minting practices. Daily use. Despite inflation, the nickel remained an essential part of everyday transactions. Public transportation fares, small retail purchases, vending machines. Sales tax calculations. The coin circulated widely, making the 1979 issue a familiar object in Canadian pockets and purses. Minting and production. The Royal Canadian Mint, RCM, headquartered in Ottawa, produced the 1979 5-cent coins. Mintage numbers. The mintage for the 1979 nickel was high, reflecting strong demand for circulating coinage. Tens of millions of coins were produced, making the 1979 issue common rather than rare. Quality and striking. Most 1979 nickels were struck for circulation, meaning moderate detail. Some surface marks from mass production, designed for durability rather than collectability. However, a smaller number were produced in collector sets, including proof-like and specimen finishes.